3 women were inside this house in Springfield, Missouri. By morning, all 3 were gone. Their cars were still there. Their belongings were still inside. And there was no confirmed explanation for where they had gone. More than 3 decades later, Suzanne Streeter, Stacy McCall, and Sherrill Levitt have never been found. So what happened during those few hours? It was June 6, 1992. For 19-year-old Susie Streeter and her 18-year-old friend, Stacy McCall, it was supposed to be a night of celebration. The two had just graduated from high school in Springfield, Missouri. They attended graduation parties that evening. Later, they went to Susie's home on East Delmar Street, where Susie's mother, 47-year-old Sherrill Levitt, was staying. The plan was simple. They would spend the night there. The next day was supposed to be another ordinary summer day. But according to the FBI, sometime between approximately 2:15 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. on June 7th, something happened. And after that window, all 3 women were gone. That narrow window would become one of the most important parts of the investigation. Because somehow, 3 people disappeared from the same home. When Susie and Stacy failed to meet their friends the next morning, concern began to grow. Eventually, people went to the house to check on them. What they found was deeply strange. The 3 women weren't there. But their vehicles were. Their personal belongings were still inside. Their purses were left behind. And the house did not immediately look like the scene of an obvious violent struggle. It was as though the 3 women had simply vanished from their lives. The circumstances were so unusual that investigators quickly began treating the disappearance seriously. The last confirmed sighting of all 3 women was at Sherrill's home. And there was something else that would become part of the mystery. The porch light had been damaged. The glass covering it was broken. But the bulb itself was reportedly still intact. At the time, no one knew how important that small detail might become. Think about what that means. If the women had planned to leave, why were their belongings still there? If they left voluntarily, where were they going? And if someone forced them out, how could 3 people disappear without leaving investigators a clear trail? Those questions have followed this case for 34 years. The FBI officially lists all 3 women as missing. Sherrill Levitt was 47. Suzanne Streeter was 19. Stacy McCall was 18. Their disappearance is listed under Springfield Police Department case number 92-40169. But the investigation had almost no luxury that modern investigators have today. This was 1992. There were no smartphones tracking someone's location. No modern cell phone data. No social media. And no digital trail showing where the women went. Investigators had to work with the physical evidence, witnesses, memories, and tips available to them. The investigation generated thousands of leads over the years. Some were investigated quickly. Others emerged years later. Searches were conducted. Possible locations were examined. People were questioned. And investigators repeatedly returned to the same fundamental problem. There was still no confirmed location for the women. Former investigators have spoken publicly about the frustration of receiving enormous numbers of tips, including reports that ultimately led nowhere. Some leads were bizarre. Others sounded convincing. But none produced the answer the families desperately wanted. And as the years passed, the case became one of Springfield's most recognizable unsolved mysteries. Over the years, countless theories have emerged. Some people believe the women were abducted. Others have suggested that someone they knew could have been involved. There have also been claims about possible burial locations and alleged information from people who said they knew what happened. But this is where we have to separate theories from facts. There is no publicly confirmed perpetrator. There is no confirmed account of exactly how the women disappeared. And there has been no discovery of their remains. Even the most dramatic claims surrounding the case have not produced a proven resolution. That means the central mystery remains intact. 3 women disappeared. But exactly how they disappeared is still unknown. 1992 became 1993. Then 2000. Then 2010. Then 2020. Every year brought another anniversary. Another reminder that Susie, Stacy, and Sherrill had never come home. The case continued receiving national attention. And investigators continued following the information. In 2022, 30 years after the disappearance, Springfield police were still describing the investigation as active. Then came another decade milestone. In June 2026, local reporting marked 34 years since the women disappeared. The Springfield Police Department still considers the case an active investigation. And the FBI continues to seek information about the 3 women. After all these years, there are certain things we can say with confidence. Susie and Stacy graduated from high school on June 6, 1992. They attended graduation celebrations. They later went to Susie's home. Sherrill was there. And sometime during the early morning hours of June 7, the 3 women disappeared. Their cars remained behind. Their belongings remained behind. And no confirmed sighting of any of them has occurred since. Those are the facts. But the biggest questions remain unanswered. Who entered the house? Did the women leave willingly? Were they forced to leave? Was someone they knew involved? And most importantly, where did they go? There is something especially haunting about the Springfield Three. It isn't simply that 3 people disappeared. It is that their disappearance seems to have happened in the space between an ordinary night and an ordinary morning. One moment, they were celebrating. Then they were inside a home. And by morning, they were gone. No confirmed explanation. No confirmed final destination. No confirmed remains. Just 3 names that have remained in the public record for more than 3 decades. Suzanne Streeter. Stacy McCall. Sherrill Levitt. 3 women whose families have spent years asking the same question. What happened to them? 34 years have passed since that June morning. But time has not changed the most important fact. The Springfield Three are still missing. The FBI still lists them as missing persons. And the investigation remains active. Somewhere between the early hours of June 7, 1992, and the morning when people realized they were gone, something happened. Something that changed 3 families forever. Maybe the answer is hidden in evidence investigators have not yet been able to interpret. Maybe someone knows more than they have ever admitted. Or maybe the truth has been waiting all these years for the right piece of information to finally surface. But until that happens, one question remains. 3 women went into that house. So what happened to them? And after 34 years, where are the Springfield Three?